I don't know it at the time, but this was my last glimpse and the last time I ever stepped foot aboard finally.
Well, it's Friday morning. It's our last day in Aruba. And pretty much got to wrap it up today. We leave Saturday morning at like 5:45 a.m. We got to get to the airport. So today's big project is put the baby to bed. Go through that checklist. Now, it doesn't take all day to do that, but that's pretty much the big project. And the other thing I'll probably do today is replace the line for the Traveler. So that's ready to be swapped out for some new line. It's got some fraying going on and it's just old. You know, it's 10 years old. So yeah, little by little we replace all the lines on the boat. So during our whole time here, it has been 20 to 25 knots consistently. Gusts up to 36. On our wind indicator, it showed a 36 knot gust. Yeah, so if somebody could turn down the wind, that'd be great. Yeah, fixing the Traveler line proved to be costly here. They want $135 per foot for this 8mm line. So I've cut a little section, gonna take it back with me, get 90 feet of it at a West Marine or some sort of local thing, and bring it back with me. There is another shop here, Budget Marine, which is over by the airport in Aruba. Might be cheaper there, but I gotta catch a cab to go there and back, and I don't need it today, so I'll just get it in the States and bring it with me in a month, coming back. Sound good, Deb?
Sounds good. Not the most flattering boat you got me.
Steve's draining the seawater from the dinghy engine, and then he'll flush it with fresh water. He'll put the dinghy back where it goes and lock it up, putting the baby to bed before we get on the plane and leave her here. He has a whole checklist. This is just the beginning. Things on his list include washing the deck, checking the fenders, checking the dock lines, disabling the winch, disabling the windlass, disabling the engine batteries, switching to charge-only mode, making sure the hatches are locked, closing the hatch shades, covering all the instruments, helm cover on. I help him with the inside, emptying the coffee maker, window shades down, water pump off, video cameras on, cleaning the inside, emptying the trash.
And then we went for a late lunch, early dinner.
It's Friday night, and it's time to go home at dark 30 in the morning.
We have been busy all day getting the boat ready for us to leave it. Sad, but we have to leave it behind when we go back home.
So yeah, I don't know it at the time, but this was my last glimpse and the last time I ever stepped foot aboard finally. The original plan was to return in a month and sail to Colombia. That didn't quite work out.
And as Steve mentioned, our next stop was to be Colombia. And so when we returned home, we jumped into the preparations for that voyage, including obtaining the necessary injections required for travel to South and Central America. Unfortunately, about a week after these pictures of Steve in the travel clinic were taken, Steve developed an extremely high fever with complications, and he needed to be hospitalized. He was in the hospital for almost 2 weeks. The infection was so severe, it affected his entire body, including one of his heart valves and an eye. He had a stroke. He had significant memory loss.
He even forgot we had a boat.
So here's Steve with the start of a full beard. We're going to start this side. Look at that. And we're going to come around this way. And look at that.
It's not my normal look.
No, he's always clean shaven.
And apparently today, I am a fall risk.
That's right. He's wearing not only the yellow armband, he's wearing the yellow socks, the country club socks.
Yeah, and my bed alarms when I get out. People come running. Hey, what are you doing?
But we're going to see if we can't groom this beard that has grown over the past week and a half and see if we can make it look sexy. What do you think, Steve?
Knock yourself out, Deb.
Okay.
Once he regained some degree of lucidity, I had to explain to Steve that we had a 40-foot catamaran sitting in Aruba. Once he recovered from the infection, he returned to the hospital for open heart surgery to repair his heart valve. Steve spent 4th of July recovering and came home just a few days later. Here's the good news. Miraculously, Steve has made a complete recovery, 100%. Memory returned, no residual deficits, back to work, back to normal. It was truly, truly a miracle. Here's the not so good news. We had to sell finally. While Steve was still weak and recovering, my daughter Melissa and I returned to Aruba and we cleared out all of our personal belongings from the boat. Our boat broker handled the transaction and a nice young man from the Midwest purchased finally. He renamed the boat Cosmos. Melissa and I watched from the balcony of our hotel room as he sailed her out of the marina.